Hello everyone, my name is Bolaji. I'm a designer. I'm a web designer. I use Framer to design websites and I set templates, Framer templates, and I do some marketing design as well. In today's video, I want us to understand the layouts, how to set our layouts in marketing designs, and how to use some frame sizes, like mostly what we know as marketing design in this part of the world is is a flyer design. So, but the thing is, understanding marketing designs makes you more of a designer in a way. If you're a product designer, if you're a UI UX designer, if you're just a UI designer or UX designer, you know how to do this little part of design. It's going to be like an add-on on your service. So you work for a brand, you've worked on their website, their products, now they are ready to go to the market. Yes, you still have work to do based on the feedback and iterations to do with their current products, because they will continue to scale and we have different phases of their products. So the thing is, you still have a major role to play in how the product feels and how it looks in the markets and the adoption of the products. So if you want to look into the marketing part of it, it is not a bad idea. You just need to understand to set out your layout. You need to work on your copy, which is your text to work with, then as well as your design thinking, and you're ready to go. So the first thing I want us to know is that we have different frame size, and inside this frame size we have to set what we call grid layouts inside it. So let's start by looking at the first one, right? So just press F on your keyboard. You don't have to use Canva for this. You can use Canva if you like, but I feel like, I'm coming from a product design background. I have experience as a graphic designer and a product designer, so I'm more comfortable with Figma, so I will just use it. So just press F on your keyboard and draw frame. So when you do it like this, you have your frame, but this is not what you will draw. You have to set it. So if you look at your right hand side there, we have width. So we have different sizes. It depends on what you are doing. Basically, we have something around 1080 by 1080. Let's try that first. We have 1080 by 1080. So let's name this one 1080 frame. 1080. So now you have 1080 by 1080. So I will give you some colors. I'm supposed to create color for this. Let me give you this color. I don't like this. So I'll just use this particular color. I'm not cool with it, but we'll use it for now. So now let's see where we have this for this 1080 by 1080. At a point when it comes to this square layouts for social design, which is marketing design in a way, however you want to call it. You can call it social design, you can call it marketing design, you can call it flyer design, you can call it art design. As long as you have it for the marketing, for the social posts, it is still cool. So, but I'm more of marketing art, because it's for making money for the entire product. So at the point we use 1024 by 1024 as well. 1024 by 1024. So anyone you use around this is still cool in a way, but at the point, from my experience, I discovered that things are getting squeezed whenever I design around this kind of frame. So I decided to go more above this. So I left 1024 by 1024. So I want to name the layer because you have to make your work clean. So I left 1024 by 1024. I left this particular part of the layout and I jumped into one more kind of real size. Not real in a way, but it's kind of real size. So I'll duplicate this one as well. Again, I'll give this one a separate color to say. I have to create style guide for my colors, but I haven't done that. So now, at the point to move from there to something like, okay, if I'm working with 1024 as my width, or 1080 as my width. My height, things are getting squeezed in a way. I want everything to have more space, whenever I design to have more space. So then we move into something we call, let me change the background color first. Okay, I'm working on this one. Then we move to something we call 1300 to say. You can either play with 1300 or 1400, but I'm more of 1400 looks way longer than this, so I will not work with 1400 now, so I will get that one away. But I am more of 1300 now in terms of my height. So whenever I want to work on any marketing design, I like 1400. And at the point we have sizes like 16:9, or this kind of 16:9 ratio or 1:1 ratio. It's still 1:1 ratio is still around. So let's check. Let's do some calculation around that. So 1:1 ratio to pixel. You don't have to like kind of overthink anything. Can easily come to Google to check this. There is no single pixel value for 1:1 ratio. But okay, now rather any resolution where both numbers are the same is 1080x1080. So if in case you are working with someone who is not a designer, this will definitely help you. When they mention 1:1 ratio, you'll be like, what's that? But I'm telling you that it is still this particular one that we call 1080x1080 or 24:24 because of the height. It is not really high, but it's something that kind of small. If you work with a brand where they run Facebook ads very well, they have different sizes. They have the 1:1 ratio and they have the 1600. The 1600 is more of like real size, but in a way you can still use this particular size for 16:9. Let's check 16:9 ratio to pixel. 16:9 ratio to pixel. Let's see what we get for that. So the 16:9 ratio is the standard widescreen format for most modern screens, including TVs and computer monitors. It means for every 16 pixel width, there's 9 pixels of height. That's kind of giving landscape format. So let's say we now use 9:16. So 9:16. So I'm going to make everything raw for us there. I'm not going to like cut anything, because if I'm trying to make it perfect, then I'm not doing the right thing. So you see now, when we see 9:16 ratio, this is giving more of portraits instead of landscape format that we had by 16:9 earlier. So now we have 9:16, which is more of portraits. So if we take 1080x1920, let's take down to Figma. 1080x1920. This is 1920. So I say like I said earlier, this is giving like real size. So if you are working with someone and they're telling you that okay, what we need is 1:1 ratio and 9:16 ratio. So 1:1 ratio and 9:16, right? 9:16, yeah, perfect. So this is what they are saying. They're basically talking about, okay, your width should be either 1024 or 1080. Let's make it 1080 here, 1080, yeah, to give it more room. So 1080x1920 and 1080. So for the standard sake now, let's make it 1080. 1080x1080. So now, so let's get rid of this to be one side. Yeah. So this is standard I love to work with, because this in a way falls between 1080x1080 in terms of the height and the width. So this is 1024, so I'm going to make it 1080 as well. So we know that we have as long as we have the beginning and the end, we have something in between the middle as well. So let's assume that I'm using this one as my standard for every design we'll be creating as we move forward here on this channel. So I'm going to give this one a different color. So let me just give it black for now. So don't mind my color usage for now, it's kind of off. So let's just go with it. So the standard here is okay. I have 9 by 16 and I have 1 by 1, which is kind of something. Okay, I think I love this ratio. I think I love this format. I love this format. So I have this like this, and I know that whatever I want to do, all my designs are going to live, all my creativity and everything, all the layouts I'm going to set for this design are going to live inside this particular frame. So if I'm working on a 1 by 1, I know that everything will live inside this particular one, and if I'm working on 9 by 16, everything will live inside here. But you cannot just position things. You have to set rulers, like you have to bring your rulers out, like. But instead of bringing the rulers out and be setting that, I set layout grid. Okay, if you are working on a mobile app design or website or dashboard design to say, you need to set your layout grid properly. So instead of thinking of bringing Figma rulers out, honestly, I'm a designer, but I don't know where I can find the rulers now. Let me just type it here. Show ruler. Okay, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for this particular shortcut. R something R. Is this Shift R? Let me press Shift R. Oh, it's showing it. So it's good. You have to bring it, and you have to bring it here. But I will never do this. This takes my time more than anything. So I will press Shift R again to take it off, and take this one up as well. I do something apart from bringing out my ruler to like do the layout grid. I just set the layout grid in a way. So for this particular one now, I want to set layout grid for this design. So just come to your right hand side here. So just to like, okay, so things don't look anyhow. Let's take this one to this side. You know what we are working with, and which one is this? Okay, let's take this one out. So now we are working with this particular one, which is my kind of standard that I work with whenever I'm working on the marketing design. So for this one now, I want to set the layout grid for it. So I'll go to my layout guide here. I'll just click on the plus, add layout guide. So it shows this up. Let me bring it out. So we have grid. Click on this box up here and click on columns. So it will look like this. This is standard color that Figma will give, but I don't work with it. I will just change my color to dark color, still the same opacity in a way. You see opacity or opacity, anyhow you call it. So I will leave it like this. So I need to set my margin. Margin is the space from left and right outside. So margin is what you will see that it will create from here and from here now. So I play with margins in a way. I don't have the standard margins for it. If I say I have, that is a big lie. So I will play with 80 first to see how it will look. I think 80 is still cool. And my gutter in a way, gutter is the space in between. This is what they call gutter here. This one is what we call gutter, the space in between. So I play with 16. Yeah, so I will use 15. So for my counts, instead of 5 is like odd number to me. So I make it 6. If I say that it's too much, I can make it 4. Let's see, 4. 4 is looking too big for me. Let me try 8. So 6 is the perfect number for us to play with. So now, when I set it like this, I've already set the vertical one, which is the column. I already set it. But I don't just leave it as this. I set my row as well. So it will look more presentable. Whatever I position on it, it will look great. Not that I will just overuse the particular part of the design. So now I want to set columns I want to set for rows now. We're done with columns. So for this one, I will just save it as I will click on it. I'll click on this apply style, and I will click on this plus icon. I will save it as vertical guide. So now, I will click on it again. I see something. If I click on it, I won't be able to add the row on it. So that means I will not create style guide for it. So let's create it again. Let's add it more. So let's do it again. Let's take it up. So click on grid columns 6 dark 80 16. So this is done. So I want to add to this. So I just click on my plus icon again as well. So this one is great. So this one is the new one we just brought out. Click on it and bring it up like this. So instead of me clicking on columns again, I'll click on rows now. So I make it 6 as well. Now I make it let's try 80 for it as well for the margin, and the gutter should be 16. So the same color to be dark. So this is standard I set for myself for the layouts grade for my designs. So whatever I want to place, we sit in between this. So let me just change this color to something like this. So whatever I'm placing inside design, we sit here. Not so we move outside this box. You see? So whatever I'm setting here, so look at it. You don't have to measure anything. So if I click on this and I press my Alt and just press the option on my keyboard, and if you see that everything is perfectly aligned. So we know that whatever you are designing, we sit in between. And if you feel like the spacing outside, the margins are more for you, like you don't want this kind of margin, you can actually reduce it to like maybe like 50 in a way. So I want to try something. I want to try and create style guide for this to see. Apply style. I can't apply style for everything. But I would love to apply style. Let's try it. So let's click on this and click on this guide. Let me call it guide for now to see what will happen. Guide. So everything is called guide. So now it's not showing now. So to bring it out, you just need to press Shift G on your keyboard to come out. So you have to create it together before you style it, before you give it a name. That's what I just noticed now. So yeah, so if you want to like remove it, press G, Shift G, bring it out, bring it in. So now you have it. So let's take this one out. So this is how you set, the different frame size you want to work with. If you're working on a marketing design, flyer design, ads design, or if they give you a particular format to work with, you can either call it format, they can either call it frame. But you as a designer, you know what you call it already, that okay, this is the format, this is the size that they want to work with. So for me, I love the standard 1300. I love to work with it all the time. So now for this, the next thing I want to show us is YouTube thumbnail in a way. I think it's 1280 by 720 YouTube thumbnail size. Okay, I have it in my search. 1280 by 720. So if you're working on a YouTube thumbnail size, you still just press F on your keyboard and press and it is 1280 width by 720. So this can be used for a lot of things. Right. See. So this can be used for a lot of things. You can actually create guide for this as well. So let me try and add our guide to it. I'm very sure it will not work for it. It looks somehow, but it is something I can still work with. So the only thing that is not working here is our row is not working in a way. It's kind of compressed. So let me try something. Let me detach it. So because I've already detached it, it's not affect this one. So let me go to row 6 and make it 4. So it looks great here. So you can either use it like this and work between and work within this like this. Let me give it a color. So work here. So everything you are doing stays within this frame. But in a way, you have to sometimes you have to add images and they will go beyond this particular frame, the in between your safe area where you work. So you have images that will span across to the edge outside. So that still works, but you know that things are not just moving around. It will give you, as a designer, sometimes you work as a perfectionist, to say. So we love things, we love, in fact, the little things matters. As a designer, when I'm reviewing work, what I look at for first is the layout, the attention to details on that design. So it matters a lot because it speaks a lot. So people pay attention to a lot of things when they want to assess your work. So, and if you are not setting it like this, you are missing out on a big thing, and you just position your work anyhow. So these days on the understanding layout for your work and size and the frames and the format you want to use. So on this channel, I will talk more of how to design, how to build marketing designs on Figma, how to like reach out to clients for them to know that you do this kind of thing and you can help them design for their brand. So just stay around, and if there's any particular type of video you want me to talk about on this channel, let me know. So pending the time, Pinterest is your friend. Pinterest is your friend. There's a lot of things there you can work with. There's a lot of styles there you can bring to Figma. I'm used to Figma a lot. So that you can bring to Figma to work with, and it will help you. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. So see you next time. Bye for now.